Hi there everyone, here Ralph here with another vlog. So earlier I did a booster box opening video of the most recent Yugioh set, which was Dawn of Majesty, and although I didn't get all the cards that I wanted to out of the booster box, I did order what I needed for one of my decks, my Stardust Dragon deck, because it has really been in need of an upgrade because the Jester Synchron was banned. So since this set had a lot of new like Stardust Dragon support, I decided to just improve the deck, and this is going to be a deck profile video on that. It's been a long time coming, but the deck is now new and improved, and I really like how it turned out. So let's go over the deck. So this right here is the main deck, and like with my other decks, this is mainly meant for casual play. There's a few things here that were added for fluff, and it's a 45 card deck, but with what I have here, I've done a couple of test hands. Everything that I ordered arrived today, or the last things I ordered to improve this deck arrived today. So yeah, so let's go over this. So first off is one of the new cards, Stardust Synchron. Really useful. It can summon itself either from the hand or the graveyard if I tribute a monster, which works in tandem with Stardust Trail. And whenever Stardust Synchron is summoned once per turn, I can get a spell or trap that lists Stardust Dragon from my deck to the hand, which is really nice. Stardust Trail. When a monster is tributed, then I can just special summon this from either the graveyard or the hand, and then if it's used for the synchro summon of a Warrior Synchron or Stardust Synchron monster, then I get a token. Really nice. Like, just these two work really well together, and I could just instantly get a Stardust Dragon out with this. Plus, like, the fact that I get a Stardust Dragon spell trap can really work well with this. So I can easily get out one of the boss monsters, and this is just really nice. Junk Synchron, really nice as well, just to get level 8s out, or just the ability to bring things back from the graveyard is really nice. And I could just instantly get a level 2 out, get Junk Speeder, and make some combos happen with there. Caligo Clawcrow is something that's new. It gets special summoned from the hand if I have a dark monster on the field. Just a neat little thing just to help get things going. Then I have 2 Satellite Synchrons. If a monster is special summoned from the graveyard, then I can special summon this. And if there is a Synchro monster with Warrior, Synchron, or Stardust in its name in the field or graveyard, then it can become a level 4 monster when it's used for a Synchro summon. Fleur Synchron, I'm only running one of. If it's used for Synchro material, I can just get a level 2 monster out from my hand. Really nice. Next up, I'm running 2 Junk Converters. If I start off with this in my hand, I can easily get going with just getting out like Stardust Synchron, or even like Junk Synchron, and get some combos going there. So really nice. And if it's used as Synchro material, I can add a Tuna monster from my graveyard and special summon it. So that's neat. I mean, its effects are negated, but oh well. Then onwards to some level 1 monsters. Boost Warrior, I have one of, just an instant special summon if I have a tuner out. Really nice. Tuningware is there for the extra draw power, and the fact that it can become a level 1 or level 2 when used for a Synchro summon is neat. Cyberse Synchron is a nice level 1 tuner to have. I'm thinking of maybe adding another level 1 tuner, but I'm not sure. But the fact that it can manipulate levels, it can actually really work with getting out some of the other big boss monsters. So yeah. Stardust Xiaolong is here. If it's in the graveyard and I synchro summon Stardust Dragon, it just summons itself in the graveyard. So really neat, and that works again with some of the synchro monsters that I have. Then Converging Wishes Dragon is a really interesting card. So when it can be used for the synchro summon of a Majestic monster, so there's that, and its name becomes Majestic Dragon when it's on the field in the graveyard, which, I mean, some of the Majestic monsters require Majestic Dragon. And then when I draw this card, I can reveal it, special summon it from the hand, and if I control a level 8 or higher Dragon Synchro monster, then I can special summon a level 1 dragon from the deck. which is where Stardust Xiaolong comes in. Then Jester Confit, I'm running 2 of these. I might change that later, but it's a free special summon if I have it in my hand. And it's a level 1, so I can use that for some synchro plays. And that's it for the monsters. Next up are the spells and traps. So this here, Arrive in Light, is one of the main cards that I really have been using with my test hands. I can search it easily with Stardust Synchron because it lists Stardust Dragon in its text. And right there, just get these 2 out, then use Arrive in Light to get Converging Wishes Dragon to the top of the deck, then Synchro Summon, then I get to draw a card. Oh, it's Converging Wishes Dragon. I get the special summon that. Oh look, Stardust Dragon's already in the field from the Synchro Summon from those 2. I can just bring out Stardust Xiaolong, and right there, instant Majestic Star Dragon. And if I happen to have Cyberse Synchron out on the field, then I can just double Stardust Xiaolong's level or Converging Wills, and then boom, that's shooting Majestic Star. So really, really neat. And the extra special summon from a tuner, that could work in handy as well, since I can apply both of its multiple choice effects if I do 2 Synchro Summons that turn, which is very likely. Now, Called by the Grave, just really nice it's nice to stop hand traps. Cosmic Flare is a little bit of fluff, because it requires a Stardust Synchro monster. If it attacks, then it just shuffles the attack target into the opponent's deck, which can actually work really well with Stardust Charge Warrior, because it can attack all of the opponent's special summon monsters. So that's a nice little combo there, and it's any Stardust Synchro monster, not just Stardust Dragon. Foolish Burial is really nice, because just getting anything that I have here in the graveyard, really nice. Oh, also with Cyberse Synchron, it can offer protection for anything in the extra monster zone. But yeah, Foolish Burial, just nice to just get things out into the graveyard, either for like Junk Synchron, or like to summon Stardust Synchron or Stardust Trail with. A lot of possibilities there. Harpie's Feather Duster, just because clearing the opponent's back row could be really helpful. Majestic Absorption is another one of the new cards from Dawn of Majesty, which I got a ton of because it's one of the common ones. All I need is just target a Stardust Dragon or a Synchro monster that lists Stardust Dragon in its text. So that could be Shooting Star, Majestic Star, Shooting Majestic Star, any of those. And then I can equip an opponent's monster, or I can make that monster attack directly, or each time it destroys a monster in battle, then the opponent takes damage with that monster's original attack. So yeah, that's really nice. The attacking directly is probably the thing I'd take advantage of the most, just because Shooting Majestic Star and Shooting Star Dragon both can attack multiple times. So yeah, easy way to just destroy the opponent, really. Next up, Monster Reborn, just because, really useful to special summon things from the graveyard. 1 for 1, it's a nice way to just get something into the graveyard from my hand, and then just special summon a level 1 monster. So, yeah. Pot of Avarice, there's a lot of things that end up in the graveyard, and sometimes I might need to bring them back to the deck just for the extra draw power, or to bring back Synchro monsters into the extra deck if they happen to be there. So, there's that. Reinforcement of the Army, just to get like Junk Warrior or Junk Converter to my hand really easily. Or Boost Warrior, I guess, but really it's either Junk Synchron or Junk Converter. Stardust Illumination I run 2 of, which is another one of the new Stardust Dragon supports. But if I have the card, the way it works is I send the Stardust monster from the deck to the graveyard, which is either Stardust Synchron or Stardust Trail or Stardust Xiaolong, sure. Or if I control Stardust Dragon or Synchro monster that has Stardust Dragon in its text, I can special summon that monster instead. And then also I can banish this card from the graveyard and then target a Stardust monster, and I can either increase or decrease its level by 1 until the rest of the turn, or until the end of the turn. So just really nice being able to either special summon something or put Stardust Synchron or Trail in the graveyard. Really neat. Stardust Junction is there for fluff, but I contribute a tuner, then special summon a Synchron monster from the deck with a different level than that. So that there is already useful. And if I were able to just Synchro summon on the opponent's turn with like Formula Synchron or Excel Synchron, then I can just return one of the opponent's cards to the deck. So there's that. Synchro Chase, I'm only running one of this time around. So with this, the opponent cannot activate the effects, or activate cards or effects in response to me activating Synchro monster effects with Synchro monsters that have Warrior, Synchron, or Stardust in their original name. So that's neat. And then I can just special summon one of the materials that was used for the Synchro summon of any of those aforementioned monsters. So it's a neat way to get like Stardust Dragon back after summoning like Majestic Star or Shooting Star, and then just going from there. But it's really handy. Synchro Overtake. I was really wondering if I should run 2 or 3 of these just because it's actually a pretty nice card. I reveal a Synchro monster in my extra deck, then choose one of the Synchro materials whose name is listed on the card and add that card to my hand or special summon it. So, or from the special summon it from the deck or a graveyard. So, this is a nice way to like just special summon back Stardust Dragon or just get Junk Synchron out or anything like that. And also, the restriction for this is I can only Synchro summon for the rest of the turn, or Synchro summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, which doesn't matter because that's all the extra deck really is, just Synchro monsters. And then next up is tuning. I run 3 of these just to get a Synchron tuner out from the deck and then discard the top card of the deck. Really handy. This is definitely fluff that I don't really need, but Stardust Dragon is quote-unquote the main card of this deck. So yeah, if for some reason Stardust Dragon is back in the extra deck and I have 5 or more Dragon Synchros in the graveyard, just special summon Stardust Dragon. Just treat it as a special summon. It can attack up to as many times as however many dragons are in there, and it gains attack equal to the total attack of all of the Dragon Synchros. And then I can just, I think it's banish one of those dragons and then let it attack again, which comes at the cost of letting it lose attack points, but it's still going to have a piss ton of attack points if that were to happen anyways. Majestic Mirage is really nice. Oh, another thing with Arrive in Light, since I've just got to Majestic Mirage, Arrive in Light will prevent the opponent from like returning Stardust Dragon to the extra deck or things like that, right? Yeah, neither player can return Stardust Dragon or Synchro monster that lists its text from the field to the extra deck. So, Majestic Star Dragon right there. It won't leave at the end of the turn, which is really nice. Anyways, back to Majestic Mirage. So, if a face-up card I control leaves the field by the card effect or deactivate the effect of my card, and the card that left the field is Stardust Dragon or a Synchro monster that lists it, then I can apply one of the following effects, and I can't apply the same effect multiple times per turn, so I can theoretically like activate all 3 of these effects in the same turn, but I can special summon one of those monsters, I can banish a monster from the opponent's field or graveyard, or any damage I take is halved. So that's neat. Stardust Flash, I target a Stardust monster in my graveyard and special summon it, which is actually really nice because it can bring back Stardust Synchron or Stardust Trail, assuming they're not banished from their own effects. So that's always something to consider. And then Stardust Wish is also, I guess, there for fluff as well, but if a Stardust Synchro monster I control is tributed to activate its effect, then I can just target that monster and special summon it. And also, the opponent can't activate anything in response to me activating this effect, and monsters special summon this way cannot be destroyed by bout or while it's in attack position. So that works with either Stardust Dragon or Stardust Warrior. Anyways, on to the extra deck monsters. So this is what the extra deck is looking like, and let's go over the monsters, starting off with this Shooting Quasar Dragon. It's fairly easy for me to get out, just requires 2 Synchro monsters and then 1 Tuner Synchro, or 2 or more Synchro monsters. And it can attack multiple times depending on how many non-Tuner Synchro monsters were used for its Synchro Summon. It can negate something, and if it just leaves the field, I can get Shooting Star Dragon out. So that's handy. and it's a 4,000 attack point monster. Hits really hard. Next up is Cosmic Blazar Dragon. It has to be Synchro summoned. Can't be Synchro summoned by any other way. Same with Shooting Quasar. And then I can banish this card until the end phase, and then I can activate either of its 3 effects, which is either negate the activation of an opponent's card effect, negate a summon, or just end the battle phase. So that's neat. Also 4,000. Next up is Stardust Sifr Divine Dragon? I don't know. And like the others, it has to be Synchro summoned. And the first time each card I control will be destroyed that turn by battle or card effect, it is not destroyed. And then once per turn during either player's turn, when the opponent activates a monster effect, I can negate that effect and destroy that monster. And I can banish this card from the graveyard and special summon a level 8 or lower Stardust monster in my graveyard. So these 3, I could summon these depending on what the situation really calls for, but these are really a plan B option at this point. It would still be fun to summon these, but the main focus is on the new fella here. Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. This is the cover card of Dawn of Majesty. So it requires Majestic Dragon plus a non-tuner monster, and it has to include a Dragon Synchro monster. So it's level 11. So right off the bat, the usual materials for this would be like Stardust Dragon, or like Majestic Star or Shooting Star, and then whatever else I could use to summon it. But like a good combo, or the usual combo for me, would be like Stardust Dragon plus Converging Wishes Dragon and a level 1 monster, and I would have Cyberse Synchron out in the field to double the levels of either Converging Wishes or the level 1 monster to easily get this out. And this thing is a beast. So once per turn, I can negate the effects of an effect monster the opponent controls, and this card gains 1 additional attack during the battle phase for every monster in my graveyard that is either Stardust Dragon or a Synchro monster that lists Stardust Dragon in its text. So that, or that, or that. So up to 3 attacks. And then once per turn, when the opponent activates a card effect, as a quick effect, I can banish this card until the end phase and negate the activation and banish that card. So really, really nice. It's also a 4,000 attack point monster. And the fact that I can get multiple attacks off of this with Majestic Absorption, direct attack, game over. Majestic Star Dragon is also another really neat card that I can feasibly use now. Before I really couldn't, but now that Converging Wishes Dragon exists, this is a lot more easier to get out than it has been in the past, and more useful than it has been in the past, just because of all the new support. And like the new support prevents it from leaving at the end of the turn. So yeah. So anyways, I contribute this card to negate the activation of an opponent's spell card, trap card, or effect monster, and destroy all cards that the opponent controls. And then once per turn, I can negate the effects of a face-up monster the opponent controls until the end phase. And if the negated effect can be activated, I can activate it as my own. And then during the end phase, this card just returns to the extra deck, and I special summon Stardust Dragon from the graveyard. But that effect would be negated with like Arrive in Light or something. But really useful, and if it's in the graveyard while I have Shooting Majestic Star out, free additional attack. Shooting Star Dragon. Really easy for me to get out as well. Just have a Synchro Tuner out, and it has some really handy effects. I can reveal the top 5 cards in my deck, and for every tuner that is revealed that way, then it can attack multiple times that turn. Or I can just negate the activation of the opponent's card effect, or when the opponent's monster declares an attack, I can just banish this. Banish it and negate the attack, and then it comes back during the end phase. So yeah, really neat. Now Stardust Dragon here, I'm kind of flexing with this one because this is not my original Stardust Dragon. That's in my binder. This is a collector's rare Stardust Dragon from Tomb Chaos. I don't have the Starlight rare one from Dawn of Majesty, but oh well. Stardust Dragon has been my favorite card ever since the card first was revealed in Japanese, like in the anime. And like ever since I've wanted it, and then I got like the tin when it came out, so it's my favorite card, hands down. But it's also pretty useful as well. If the opponent activates a card effect that would involve destroying anything, I can just tribute this, and then negate that card's activation and destroy it. And then it comes back at the end phase. Really, really useful. Stardust Spark Dragon, I'm thinking of replacing this with another Stardust Dragon. I don't know. But its effect could be useful during either player's turn. I can target a face-up card I control, and it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. So that has its own uses. So that's it for like all the Stardust Dragon stuff. I did have Stardust Chronicle Spark Dragon in here, but I couldn't really find a place for it. So yeah. Anyways, next up here is Stardust Warrior. So this requires a tuner monster, or a tuner synchro, and then a regular synchro monster. But during either player's turn, if the opponent would special summon a monster or monsters, I can tribute this card to negate the activation and destroy those monsters, and then it comes back. And then if it's the short of a battle, or this face-up card leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, I can special summon a level 8 or lower warrior synchro monster from the extra deck, and it's treated as a synchro summon. I mean, the only thing I could special summon that way would be Junk Warrior, but oh well. But really nice to just negate summons, and it's a 3000 attack point monster, so it's a little bit beefy. Satellite Warrior, that's probably the one I'd be summoning more often than Stardust Warrior, if I'm being completely honest. But if it's Synchro Summon, I can target cards that the opponent controls up to the number of Synchro monsters in my graveyard, destroy them, and then it gains 1000 attack for each card destroyed. So it can just become really, really powerful. And if this Synchro Summon monster is destroyed, I can special summon up to 3 level 8 or lower Warrior, Synchron, or Stardust Synchro monsters. So really nice to just get out like Stardust Dragon again, or like Stardust Charge Warrior, Junk Warrior, Excel Synchron, Formula Synchron, so really nice. Stardust Charge Warrior, when it's Synchro Summon, I can draw a card, and also it can attack all of the opponent's special summon monsters, which works really well with Cosmic Flare, because Cosmic Flare will just shuffle those monsters back into the deck, and it can clear the opponent's field if the situation calls for it. Junk Warrior, just there as a nice, like, just level 5 monster, but I do have quite a few level 2 and level 1s, so in a pinch, this thing's attack gaining effect could be useful. Junk Speeder, though, it would be the level 5 monster I would Synchro Summon more often than any of the others, just because when it's Synchro Summoned, I can special summon Synchron tuners from my deck in defense position that are different levels, so that's up to 4, because I have Stardust Synchron for my level 4, Junk Synchron for my level 3, Fleur Synchron for my level 2, or Satellite Synchron, and then Cyberse Synchron for my level 1. So there's that, and the turn it's summoned, it can double its attack, so that's neat. Excel Synchron is a really nice synchro tuner just because I can change its level flexibly. I can either increase or decrease its level, and I can use it to synchro summon on the opponent's turn. Then Formula Synchron, I can just, it's a nice level 2 synchro tuner. When I synchro summon, I draw a card, and I can synchro summon the opponent's turn with it. So that's just really handy. And that is it for the extra deck. But now, it's time to show some test hands. The rain is being really loud right now, but I'm using a different mat than the one I usually use. I use like a Crystal Beast mat that my friend Jamie got me, but I saw this online, decided to order. I didn't actually like participate wherever they were giving out these mats. I think that was San Diego. Also, just because I could, I got a field center card of shooting Majestic Star Dragon, just because. But let's get in with the deck. Now, of course, because everything's like all... Oop, hello. Did not mean to move the camera, but because everything is all nice and organized, have to go through my shuffling. And I think I'm gonna do either 1 or 2 test hands here. I don't know. But This is usually what I do when I shuffle. There's a hair there. Just separate into piles, and then I'll shuffle each of those individual piles, and then combine them and just shuffle. But just to ensure that everything is all nice and shuffled. But hopefully things turn out well. And this is a 45 card deck, like I've said before, really only meant for playing with friends, but I feel like it could do decently well at like a local tournament if those existed nearby. There haven't really been any local tournaments lately. Oh well. Maybe that nearby store, Video Game Remedy. I know they have Magic the Gathering tournaments. If they could do Yu-Gi-Oh ones, I would be down for going to those. Just saying. But there we go. That's my deck. And let's draw. Converging Wishes. Already getting a Junk Converter is really nice. Converging Dragon right there is nice as well. So, let's see. What can I do here? Let's see. I mean, I could just straight up special summon Jester Confit as well, but let's see. Let's go with, sure. This is assuming we go turn 2, so let's go draw. Let's start things off with Synchro Chase, which is nice. Foolish Burial gives me a ton of options right off the bat, especially since I have Junk Converter in the hand. So what I'm gonna do is, let's see. I could set up by getting like Stardust Synchron out there. I feel like that'd be a good idea. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the current plan. So Stardust Synchron goes into the graveyard. Shuffle the deck. I have to sneeze. So let's do that. Use Junk Converter's effect. Discard that to add a Synchron monster. Gonna add Junk Synchron. So right there, that's a nice play to go with. And I still have my normal summon. So yeah, let's see. Let's special or normal summon Junk Synchron. Get out Junk Converter. Its effects are negated. But Synchro summon for level 5. That's going to be Junk Speeder. I'll usually put it in the extra monster zone just because that gives me more room to work with. So right there, I get 1. Or they have to be in defense mode. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. And 4. Stardust Synchron's effect activates since it was special summoned and its effect isn't negated by Junk Speeder, if I am reading that right. Yeah. So Stardust Synchron's effect activates. I get to add a spell or trap that lists Stardust Dragon in its text. So the good option here would be, I should have put Stardust Xiaolong with Foolish Burial. That was a misplay on my part, but it's already there in the top of the deck. Arrive in Light. So that's good. I already have one in my hand, so I'll keep the one in my hand just in case. I'll play Arrive in Light to put the other Converging Wishes Dragon to the top of the deck. Where are you? There you are. So there we go. And then from here, what I'm gonna do is Synchro Summon into a level 8, which is going to be Stardust Dragon. And then from there, Arriving Light's effect activates, I draw a card, I reveal it to the opponent, it's Converging Wishes Dragon, special summons itself, and because I already have Stardust Dragon out on the field, the camera will focus on that, I get to special summon a level 1 dragon monster from my deck. So right there is Stardust Xiaolong, so that works. And then I can make some interesting things happen here. So first off, what do I want to do? This is actually a toughie for me. Nah. So next up, what I'm going to do is... Ooh, actually, idea here. So I'm going to Synchro Summon these. So level 10 into Majestic Star. Use the effect of Synchro Chase. This will bring back Stardust Dragon. And since I Synchro Summoned, I can use the... Not yet. I'm overthinking this, right? So I have Majestic Star out. Actually, no, I'm not overthinking this. I'll use Arriving Light's effect, its other effect, to special summon a tuner from the hand. There we go, Converging Wills. These two, Majestic Star and Converging Wills, will become shooting Majestic Star. So right there, I could do that, and then Jester Confit, I'll special summon it with its effect. These two will become Formula Synchron, get to draw a card. Reinforcement of the Army, I guess I can make that work. I guess. These two will then be used to make Shooting Star. So now Shooting Majestic can attack 3 times because it's an additional attack for both Shooting Star and Majestic Star in addition to its regular one. Let's see, what can I search for here? I already used up my normal summon. So, Reinforcement of the Army, I guess, to just bring something to my hand. I can bring Junk Converter for the next turn to set up for that. But really, I'm stuck at a bit of a standstill, I guess. But I do have Shooting Star and Shooting Majestic out, which is really, really nice. I guess Junk Converter will go to the hand. And you know what? Just for the heck of it, let's use Shooting Star's effect. Reveal the top 5 cards. If there's a tuner there, no tuner. Yay. Oh well. Shooting Majestic can attack multiple times as well, so there is that. But just in case, I'll set Converging Wishes even though Stardust Dragon is in the graveyard. But Shooting Majestic can attack 3 times, and it's a 4,000 attack point beater. There we go, and its effects are really handy. That's my starting board at, like, assuming I start turn 2, which is already nice. Probably could have been a bit better depending on what I drew, but right there, just getting out Shooting Majestic Star is really, really good. It's easy for me to get out turn 1. Now let's do another test hand where I go first and don't have the luxury of drawing 1 card at the beginning. Also, I probably could have, like, used Foolish Burial to send Stardust Trail to the graveyard, because then from there, I could find a way to summon it. And then I would have Stardust Synchron out, plus Stardust Trail, get out Stardust Spark, use that to get Satellite Warrior out, but that was a misplay on my part. Oh well. Anyways, now for the new test hand. Okay, so I'm doing the whole shuffling thing again, and that was a decent, like, opening move for me going second. Now, of course, the opponent can always negate things with, like, hand traps or whatever they have on the field or whatever, but oh well. Now, this is going to be a turn 1 first hand, so let's see how that goes. Hopefully it's not a dead hand. I've only done a few test hands with this, so I haven't really had like a good dead hand, although good dead hands aren't actually really good, but whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but hopefully, like, I haven't bricked yet with this deck. It probably will happen at some point, but hasn't happened yet. Okay, so deck is all shuffled. Draw the cards. Pot of Avarice, I have no use for that. Might have opened my mouth a bit too soon. So right there, that is a dead hand that I really can't. Let's see. I could try to make something work with this. I guess. Let's try it. Stardust Synchron. So I get support here. Probably not going to be arriving light this time. Ooh, you know what? That could actually work. I think. Maybe. The gears in my head are turning. Let's see, what can I do with this? Let's see. Stardust Trail. No, that won't work. Okay, let's start again then. Let's try to get a better hand. So that's an example of a dead hand, which I don't think I've actually shown happening with my other test hands that I've done, which I've only done, I think, 2 of them at this point. But let's see. I think the deck is already like shuffled enough as it is, so I'm not gonna do that whole shuffling thing. But let's see. Oh, right there. Reinforcement of the army is a really good way to start. Okay. Not bad, actually. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is use the reinforcement of the army. Gonna get myself Junk Converter. As a start, don't move the thing, please, me. I have my camera propped up on my, like, on 2, like, Yu-Gi-Oh tins, just because I don't have a way of, like, getting this high enough where it can show everything. So Junk Converter is now here. Going to discard it to add Junk Synchron. So there's that. Sometimes I don't know how to shuffle, apparently. Okay, so from here, normal summon Junk Synchron to bring you out. And I do have a dark monster, so I could special summon this. And I could just freely special summon that, but let's just go one step at a time. Hold up, I didn't draw, right? Yeah, I didn't. Okay. Just, sometimes I'm a forgetful person. Anyways, these 2 go into Junk Speeder, of course. Junk Speeder is such a really good card for this deck. I think it just helps move things along. I love it a lot. Do that. Stardust Synchron. Cyberse Synchron. And then, where is... It's another Junk Synchron. Oh, Stardust Synchron's effect activates. So, again, Arriving Light would be really, really nice to take. Can I make any use of Stardust Illumination here? Maybe. Let's see. I could do that actually, but Arrive in Light just gets Shooting Majestic Star out a lot quicker, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, so right there. And then from there, sure, let's play Arrive in Light. Bring Converging Wills out to the top of the deck. And then do what I did before. Bring you out. Stardust Dragon. Get to draw a card with Arrive in Light. Oh look, it's that. It special summons itself. And oh look, Stardust Dragon's out in the field, so there we go with that. Where is Xiaolong? Oh look, Stardust Xiaolong is right there. Although, what I could have done, actually, hold up. Let's, would it be smarter if I... Nah, I'm just gonna go through with this. I was thinking of just replacing Stardust Dragon with Stardust Spark. You know what? Let's not do that. Never mind. That's just making things a little bit more complicated right there. Wait, that's a continuous spell. Okay, Cyberse Synchron. Let's use your effect. Double this thing's level. It's a level 2. So 8 plus 2 is 10 plus 1. That can get out Shooting Majestic Star Dragon. So that's cool. Next up, what I'm gonna do is I control a dark monster. So I'm gonna special summon Caligo Clawcrow. Synchro summon these for level 6 Stardust Charge Warrior. So I got Stardust Synchron in the graveyard, which is nice. Foolish Burial to get out Stardust Trail into the graveyard. So there's that. I do control a Stardust / Warrior, so I could get out a Stardust Spark Dragon. Or not a Satellite Warrior, I mean. But I could also get out Stardust Spark Dragon as well. But do I want to? Do I want to do that? Options, because these are the 2 cards in my hand, because I could either go into Formula, or I can go into Satellite Warrior. Oh yeah, I should have gone for Stardust Spark Dragon then, instead of summoning Stardust Dragon. Misplay on my part, but oh well. I can work with something here. But what? What can I do? Because I have both of these in the graveyard. What can I do with those 2? Idea. Right now. Gonna just special summon Jester Confit with its effect. Synchro summon for level 2. This really depends on what I draw. That's gonna determine what I do here. Tuning. Add a Synchron tuner. I guess let's just thin the deck out some more. let's get something out. Yeah, sure, Satellite Synchron, actually. Okay, I can still make something happen here. What? I don't know, but I can make something happen if I can shuffle my deck just right. Stop doing this to me. Okay, so there's that. That card gets... Did I already use that? Thought I already used Rhoda. I did. Gosh, I'm a mess right now. Okay, that gets milled. Jester Confit, I don't care. Did I already... Okay, that's my second one. Okay, so now... Tribute this. Because... Tributing that will activate the effect of Stardust Synchron. And because something was tributed, Stardust Trail comes out. And because something was special summoned from the graveyard, there's that. So from there... See, this is where I kind of screwed up, because if I summoned the Stardust Spark Dragon instead of Stardust Dragon, I could still get that out, but I could save Stardust Dragon for later. Because, you know what, let's say that I actually did that for the purposes of this test hand, because I was dumb earlier. But okay, we're all good. Okay, when I summoned that, I didn't actually summon Stardust Dragon. I summoned Stardust Spark and then used Converging Wishes and the other thing. Okay, we're all good. Okay, anyways, these two gonna synchro summon for actual Stardust now. I have a level 1 token here for whatever reason from Stardust Trails. Gonna make this thing a level 4 with its effect. So, that's fine. Level 10, get out Satellite Warrior. And how many synchros do I have in the graveyard? Doesn't matter because I went first. But I could destroy 3 things. Then use those to get out Shooting Star Dragon. And now Majestic Absorption. On that, it can attack directly. Well, I went turn 1, so that doesn't really matter, but I have this just in case now. So that's my turn 1 starting hand, which is actually pretty decent, getting Shooting Star Dragon out, Satellite Warrior, and Shooting Majestic Star Dragon out. I mean, I kind of goofed earlier, but it's fine, But yeah, that's the 2 test hands. And I really like how this deck can work. The main focus now, instead of getting out the level 12 synchros, is now to get Shooting Majestic Star out. And it works really, really well. I can get this out reliably, and it's a really, really good card. I mean, not saying that these 3 aren't, but now these are just a plan B option should Shooting Majestic Star, I always get its name wrong, but should Shooting Majestic Star Dragon just fail me, then these 3 are here for backup. Same with Majestic Star. It's just, I really like this deck. Synchros have always been my favorite mechanic, and Stardust Dragon has always been my favorite card. It's such a cool card. Collector's rare too. I like it a lot. But yeah, that's it for this deck profile video. If there's any ways you think I could improve this deck, then let me know. I mean, there's always ways to improve this that I'm probably just not thinking of. But it's really fun, at least like with the test hands that I've gotten so far. And I've really been enjoying it. Also, this is a cool field center card. It's a shame that it's slightly bigger than actual Yu-Gi-Oh cards because it doesn't fit in this sleeve. Oh well. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this deck profile video, plus the 2 test hands that I did, even showing off the fact that I could get dead hands with this deck. But still, it's a really fun deck to play with, and I can't wait to play against friends with this deck. I mean, I do have other decks to play with as well, but still. Anyways, that's going to be it for this vlog. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'm just going to end it off here with admiring the Collector's Rare Stardust Dragon. Also, this is my second Collector's Rare Stardust Dragon. I do want the Starlight Rare, but that's way too expensive. Same with the Ghost Rare. I have a lot of Stardust Dragon cards. Actually, to end it off, this is how many Stardust Dragon cards I have, of all varying rarities. Just because I'm on this subject, I have a Gold Rare one, the Dual Power Alternate Artwork one, a Collector's Tin one of the common ones from the 5D's Legendary Collection thing, another Collector's Rare one, because, of course, I am just that extra. I want a Collector's Rare for collecting and for playing. Another common one. I might replace this with, like, another rarity. This is Ultra Rare from Duelist Genesis, Super Rare from a Duelist pack, and then a different Gold Rare Stardust Dragon. So I'm probably going to replace like this with some other rarity that I could find. I don't know. And then on this page is my very first Stardust Dragon. This is like sentimental cards, I guess, but it's my very first Stardust Dragon. So I have a lot of copies of the card. That's 11 copies, probably more somewhere. But I just really like the card. Anyways, I'm ending it off here. So, later.